Monday, but we had the privilege this past Saturday to hear from Marci in person. And she was the presenter in Orlando for the LVA. And I shared this on Carrie's call earlier today. We had never said no to the company for anything. And they had asked us to go do an LVA in Kansas City, and we said no. We found out that Marci was training, and she's been connected and involved in network marketing her whole life. Her mom was, in network marketing while she was growing up. And we had always heard how Marci worked, but we had never seen her train or teach or whatever in the 4.5 years that we've been here. So she over-delivered in a way that I can't even describe. Okay. I mean, it was just pure over-deliver, so real, so heartfelt, so stinking funny that I couldn't take notes because I was afraid I was going to miss the next thing that came out of her mouth if I was writing and not listening. That's how good and entertaining she was. So Marci, we greatly appreciate your time. We know how busy you are. It's all yours.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me here, Bob and April. It's really an honor to be here. I have to say, I'm so grateful that you chose LifeVantage. You are amazing leaders. And when I get to learn from you, trust me, I am taking notes because I have a lot of respect for you, and you guys are so fortunate to have incredible leadership in this team. I see a few people that I know, and it's just really, really nice to be here with you guys. So I'm here in a short period of time to talk to you guys about, to me, one of my absolute favorite things to do, one of the most impactful things in our business. It really is about inviting. And oftentimes, I mean, how many of us wish that we were in a different place in our business? We wish we were further along. Let me see if I can see you guys. I'm going to change my view so I can see you. How many of us wish we were further along, right? On this journey, right? Most of the time, if we're not where we want to be, or if we're not getting the results that we want to get, it's because we can almost always take it back to either the quantity of invites that we're doing or the quality of invites that we're doing. And this is very, very much this business is a growth business, and it is a business that, well, I mean, we just don't know what we don't know. Okay. We don't know what we don't know. And it's a relationship business. So how many people here are building on social media? Let me just get a sense of how many people are building on social media and how many people are more face-to-face people. Okay. So we have a mix. We have a mix. The beautiful thing about social media is that it's really designed to be social. And it doesn't matter whether you are building your business more in the real world, like you're running into someone, or you're making a new friend at the grocery store or the Starbucks, or whether you're making new friends in a Facebook group, or however you're meeting people, it's making that connection that is so important. And also knowing what you are up to, that's so important. So before you even start to invite, make sure you're really clear about what you're inviting to. Right? Do you know the next place that you're going in your business? Do you have a vision of where you're going next? That is so important because you're the CEO of your own business. And depending on how large of a business or how big the gap is of where you want to grow next will hopefully determine how much inviting and what kinds of inviting you're going to do. What do I mean by that? I mean, we can invite to take a look at a business opportunity, or we can invite to take a look at breakthrough technologies, and we can do both, right? If you have business partners, you're going to have more leverage. So don't be afraid to invite to the business. What I would say is, as you're on social or as you're building up your list all the time, I like to start by taking a look at the name on my list and asking this question first. And here's the question, you might want to write it down. If this person were to see this business opportunity like I do, would I like to be in business with them? If this person were to see this business opportunity like I do, would I like to be in business with them? If the answer is yes, I'm going to lead with a business invite. If the answer is no, meaning, you know what, I don't really like this person so much, or maybe I'm a practitioner and I don't necessarily want to be, I don't want to change the dynamic, like client practitioner relationship. So maybe, whatever reason it is, you just decided I don't want to be in business with that person. Then you can leave with the products, but don't shortchange yourself by inviting to just take a look at the product when you really respect this person and you really would love to be in business with them if they saw it like you do. Okay. Does anybody sometimes not invite to the business because you're afraid of what somebody might say, or you're having a story in your mind about, like, let me just start with the product and then I'll go to the business later? I'm just going to invite you guys right now. Don't delay, because I know people who they're whoever enrolled them with as a customer, they never even brought up the business to them. Someone else did. So don't forget that part of the story, right? It's really, really important. When you're inviting to the product, now Bob asked me to talk about collagen. You guys, I have never in all my years ever had an easier time sharing something. I want to hear what you guys are doing to share, but for me to invite to take a look at this collagen, this product, it's literally as simple as someone asking me, like, how I'm doing. How many times do you like how you doing? And they'll tell you how they're doing. Then what do? They turn around, they ask you how you're doing, right? Is this like are you guys following me here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, like, what's going on with you? How are things with you? Amazing. Okay. Your vibe is going to attract your tribe. You're going to be high. Don't be like slumping over. Don't be like, it's okay. Be excited, because your passion, your authentic passion about what's happening in your business is going to come through, right? Like, I'm so over the top excited right now. My company just released a new product, and it's like, I don't even know how to describe this. Like, just look at this. I hold up my phone. Now, this is not it, right? But I hold up my phone. I show them a before and after picture, a good one. Like, wait, look at this. Scroll to another picture. Show them another picture. Scroll to another one. Show them another one, right? What is that? Oh my God. What is this? You need to know. You need to know about these breakthrough technologies. This is going to blow you away. Like, if I was to share with you a short video that explains it in part, would you want to take a look at it? And if you want to get more information, I'm happy to connect you to more information, or someone on my team that can kind of answer any questions for you, or one of the product experts that can answer some questions for you. So I'm kind of dropping the seed at the beginning of the conversation that if they're going to have questions, they're going to be talking to someone else about their questions, because I always want to do the ITT. I'm always setting up, whenever I'm inviting, I am thinking right from the get-go, whatever I'm saying to this person, I am training them right now. Their training starts from the moment I start to invite. I'm training them potentially to become a business partner that can replicate the system down the road. Whatever you do is going to be replicated, right? So if all I'm doing is inviting them, then connecting them with a tool, information, and then connecting them to the team, if they wanted to possibly partner up with me in the business one day, they're going to think, I could do that. I could do what, Joanne did, right? Or Kenneth, whatever Kenneth did, I could do that, because everyone who's taking a look at the business opportunity wants to answer two questions. They want to know, number one, is this real? And number two, can I do this? And if all you do as you're inviting and exposing the business is to invite, connect to the tool, and connect them to the team, the answer to can I do this is always going to be like, yeah. Like, who can't share a tool and connect to the team? Can everybody here do that? The question is, do we do that? Or when we're inviting, do we become the tool? That happens a lot of times, especially when we're passionate, right? We start talking so much, we start selling and telling and all that kind of stuff. If that's you, though, because people say, I'm so excited, I just can't stop talking about it when I go to invite. Just know if that's you, the way to stop is to go say to yourself, if I talk, it means I'm never going to replicate. My mouth is not the tool, right? So just keep that in mind. There's one of my favorite product invites is just like, if you know of someone having a little challenge in their health, or maybe they're low in energy or whatever, that's just the open door right there to just say, hey, if I knew of something that might help you with your health or your energy level, or if I knew of something that might be able to help you with your daughter, would you want me to share it with you? You're asking for their permission. The minute they say yes, could be someone you just see on Facebook that's saying, I'm having this issue, blah, blah, blah. You could message them and say, hey, I saw your post. If I knew of something that might be able to help you with your daughter or with your headaches or whatever, would you want me to share it with you? Yes. Okay. That's just a simple open the door. They say yes. That gives you the opportunity to share a tool and then connect to the team, right? When it comes to leading with the business, and let me just stop there and ask, is there anyone who has any questions or challenges when it comes to inviting to the product?
If you have any questions, you got to unmute yourself because we got everybody muted for background. Yeah. So if you have a question for Marci, just unmute.
Okay.
I think you're good,
So
Marci.
Hey, Marci.
Yes.
A question for you. Like, how do you go about kind of introducing Pro Tandem?
How do I?
Yeah. Like, what would you recommend as you're introducing our products?
So I was introduced to it by watching an ABC News primetime investigative report. Personally, I still love to share the ABC News report, but I don't like just sending that because it doesn't really tell the whole story. And then people don't really understand like what's happened since then. So if I'm going to share it, if I'm going to start by sharing that, I typically will say, I'd love to share this 3-minute clip with you. But if it's interesting, that's just the beginning of a series of breakthrough technologies that would blow you away. So on our team, we have we have a recorded product overview that shows the ABC News report, that explains the technology of oxidative stress and what Pro Tandem does, and then it's an overview of all the products. And so that's a tool that we created that just can be used over and over and over. And even with this collagen now, a lot of people, especially on Facebook, people are sharing the collagen over and over, and people are like excited about the collagen, right? But before they place the order for the collagen, we'll say, the collagen is amazing because it's an activating collagen. This company has a lot of other activators that are really powerful. And I'm wondering if you'd be interested in learning about the other activators before we place your order, because adding another product to your order would potentially qualify you for free shipping or discounted shipping. So would you be interested in learning about those other products? And so then they usually are like, yeah, I would. So instead of just placing the collagen order, we will invite them to take a look at the other products. And then what I'm finding is every time I'm the expert, right? Every time I get on the phone as the advisor for somebody who's done that, the order is not 112 points. It's certainly the collagen and the Pro Tandem, but it's usually bigger than that, because they're like, I saw, then we had a few people sharing their experiences in a compliant way. And we have an index in our overview so that people can they don't have to watch the whole thing. They could fast forward and just hear people's experiences at the end, or maybe they're just gonna see the news clip. They can fast forward and see. That's just like what we do on our team. But I would say, do what Bob and April have you do, because it's so important to follow your leader, right? It's so important to just use the system that is working for you guys. But you're asking me what I do. That's what we do. We show that overview, and then we connect to a product expert to kind of help them prioritize and get the best pricing on their order. So it's like, what's in it for them, right? We're going to help you, because they usually come out of it just wanting to try it so many times. And when I get on the phone with somebody who's seen the overview or they've checked out the other things, I'm like, so what caught your attention most? Or tell me about the areas of your life that you want to support most. And they'll be like, well, everything looked good. Right. I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. My job is to kind of listen to where, the areas of your life that you'd like to take to the next level. Not that I'm saying our products cure or heal or treat or mitigate any condition, but we want to help you prioritize where you start, and certainly help you get the best pricing, because we have stacks and things that we can help you kind of strategize how to place your order. So we're always focusing on them. And then, then we actually stay on the phone. I like to stay on the phone with them till the whole order is complete. So I don't just send them a cart. It's like, we're staying on the phone with them until it actually goes through. And then we have, they save the customer service number and their ID number in their phone. We're already making a plan for them to start taking before pictures, every customer, like making notes of where are they in their life, like do that starting point. So that when we keep following up with them, they're going to be able to notice and know that these products are really working. And that's going to build the value, and that's going to build retention in your business. So that was a long answer for your question, but I hope it was helpful. No, I'm not. I'm not in Team Heart. I'm in Team Marci Steiner. Not in Team Heart. I'm in Team LifeVantage. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just like one big team. It's LifeVantage, and that's why I'm here. But I am in an organization that is like maybe 4 leaders below Carrie Dickey, if that helps. Sharice Matthews, Michael Epstein, and me, pretty much. Okay, so any other questions about product? So with but I can say, there's great tools in the app. So if you guys, there's so many videos that you can share with someone. If you guys don't have a full product overview, I can tell you from the time that we started doing that, it's been very, very helpful for us, just to be able to have a quick 10-minute overview of all the products and understanding the technology. It just can start the conversation. When it comes to business, there are 3 main parts to a business invite. You want to always say the word business. You want to give a genuine compliment. And I personally like to use what I call virtues. It's virtues languaging. There's an app you can actually go. It's like maybe $2 at the App Store. Virtues reflection cards is what they are, and or I can send Bob or April a list of the virtues. But I like to use like 3 main virtues, and that's why I love inviting to the business, because I feel like each time I do an acknowledgement, a virtues acknowledgement is what I call it. It's like giving a gift. I literally go so slow when I compliment. I go so slow, like each virtue, I am literally like handing over a gift to that person. I thought of you because you're so responsible. You're so caring and one of the most trustworthy people I know. Now, if that is the truth about you, and I just acknowledge you and said that, your heart's going to start opening up. You're going to feel seen. You're going to feel like, wait, maybe there's something of potential value that this person, that you see in me, right? If I'm the recipient. So having those virtues acknowledgements are a very powerful part, in my experience, of the invite. And then you're going to make an active request. That's the last part. So there's a difference between when you invite passively or if you invite actively. A passive invite would be, a request would be something like, so would you be open to me sharing what I'm so excited about? That's passive. That's what I call the spaghetti on the wall method, where you've got people that are, that's like a timeshare salesperson, where you're just trying to get people in to listen. And you have to go through a lot of people when you're building your business with those kinds of invites, because especially people that care about you, of course, they're going to say, yes, I'll be willing to listen, because they're going to be nice to you. And if you're somebody who invites like that, you probably get a lot of responses at the end of your exposure where people say, I'm so excited for you, Amy. This sounds great. Your business sounds wonderful. I'm sure you're going to do great with that. Anybody ever hear that after you have an exposure? Like, you're going to be this is going to be great for you. If that's happening, it's because you're doing a passive invite. What I mean by active invite is that I'm inviting that prospect to come on an exploration. I don't want them to sit through a presentation. I want them to go on an exploration with me, where we are actively going to both engage in a process of vetting this opportunity to see whether it might be a good match from a business standpoint, from a personal standpoint. My goal as the business owner is to help that prospect to get whatever information or whatever clarity I can help them get, not me personally, but by connecting them to tools in the team, for them to get as clear as they can about whether this is a good match for them. I'm not trying to sell them. I am trying to literally help them get clarity, and I'm sifting and sorting. If they don't match up, if it's not a good 100% for them, it's next. I am just simply looking for the ones that see this like I do. So the easiest way, I think, to ask an active question would be to ask something like, so would you be open to taking a look at doing something with me? Or would you be interested in taking a look at doing something with me? One of my most powerful invites that I use for someone in my cold market, maybe someone I don't know very well, or someone I've invited that hasn't given me a big firm yes, like I'm open to taking a look. Like, maybe it's kind of like, yeah, I'd be open. Like, if they're not convincing me that they're really wide open and that the timing's right, because that's all I want to do to qualify your prospects. Remember, there's only two things you need to know to have a fully qualified prospect. Number one, that they're open. Number two, that the timing's right in their life to take a look. That's it. Those are the only two things you need to know. You don't need to, you're not asking them if they would be interested, because they don't even know what this is yet, right? We just want to know, are they open and the timing's right? So I ask, April, let me ask you a question. If the right income opportunity came along and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing to make money here at the bank, or what you're already doing here to make money with these kids at the school or whatever, would now be a good time in your life to take a look? April, if the right income opportunity came along and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing to make money, would now be a good time in your life to take a look at possibly doing something with me?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. So, I'm on to something really big. I've started a business. It's going really well. Now I'm looking to take it to the next level, and in the process of lining up partners to build it with. And I thought of you because you're so honest and responsible and one of the most caring people I know. And I wondered if you'd be open to taking a look at doing something with me. That's it. It's a business invite, right? Are you pretty clear? Does that sound icky or anything to you guys? Professional, right? And it's gonna, if she says yes, I know that she's qualified, and all we're gonna do is just go in and start to explore. But when you actively invite, you've got someone who's part of the process. They're not just sitting back and listening to what you have to say. They're there and they're listening with a critical ear, and they're evaluating for themselves whether this would be a good match. And I don't need an answer right there. We're going to keep going because we know it's going to take more touch points. So we have to keep inviting. We have to invite to the next thing. We have to invite to get some more information, get some more clarity, invite to meet the next person on the team, invite to the next event so they can get some more information, right? We know it's going to be 6 touch points or more. Invite into the product group, whatever. So I hope that was like helpful for some of you guys. I'm open to, taking any questions here for a few minutes. If you have an area with the invite where you get stuck, anything where around what's going on, the conversation in our head, you guys, there's so much that goes on to this invite, and sometimes little words, little things, little tweaks that we can change all of our results. So I'm here for you.
Marci, I really love, and I wish you could expand a little bit more. And one of the things that Bobby and I've been talking about, I think sometimes we think we have the buying signal really early on in the conversation, and you just said 6 touches, and it could be many more. Could you just expand on that? Like, I mean, I know what I do and Bobby does and how we do it, but I think sometimes that's not coming across because we've seen people sliding the link to sign up too soon, I think, anyway, before they asked enough questions and shown enough.
Yeah. Well, you just hit it right there. It's asking a question. So here's how I recognize a buying signal. Okay. I'm looking for a few key words when I listen to them. I'm looking for them to reveal their needs, the things they're looking for. They'll say words like want. They'll say need, looking for, interested in. When you hear interested in, looking for, need, want, like those are the things that's clues to you of what they're looking for, what they're looking for solutions. And when they say that, when they find what they're looking for is this, like if they say like, oh yeah, that would be great, I would like that, or this sounds really good. When you hear things like that, that's where what I call the second invite comes in, right? The next invite. We can't just invite once. We're going to invite again. So that's where the close comes in. Sometimes people forget to close, or they're not recognizing when it's time to close. So that next invite might just be, so what do you think? You ready to do this with me? So what do you think? Are you ready to start activating your body? Right? So, and if they are not, that means if they're like, well, no, not yet. That means there's a concern. That means there's a question. That means that there's something else that you've got to go back and resolve. And you want to understand what that is. And the answer is going to be, you're going to be finding out what's going to help them go to the next step. They may not know. If they don't know what the next thing is that you're going to do before they close, before they're ready to buy or move forward with coming into the business, it's going to be like, you're going to use the magic phrase, here's what we need to do next. Okay, here's what we need to do next. I'm working with a real professional who's helped so many people make a decision about how to get started with taking their health to the next level. I'm working with a real professional that is really experienced with helping people who wanted to build a business but didn't know where they're going to come up with the money to do it or whatever. How about as a next step, we schedule time to get on the phone with them and let's tap their minds. Like, let's hear what they have to say. What do you think about that? Right? Would you want to do that? Would you want me to try to schedule a call? Sure. You're helping them. You're just going to that next step. So inviting, it's like you're going to keep inviting to each step till it's actually time to do that close. I don't know if that's helpful.
Very helpful. And I'd love the change in the language because we always ask permission now. I'm asking permission if you're open, if you want to take a look, would you want to? I love all that. So yeah, very good.
Mars, one of the things I've come across a lot lately is people trying to fly solo because they feel like they're bothering asking somebody to do a 3-way call, or, not understanding the process, that it's part of how it's done, and being reluctant to use that third party.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Here's the thing. I understand how they feel because especially if, like for me, I grew up in a really dysfunctional home and I, over a period of time, just stopped counting on anybody else. If something was going to happen, it's like I had to become very self-reliant. I had to learn how to do it myself. And when I got into network marketing as a real professional, I had to learn to play team because this business doesn't work on your own. So the reason why is because we are not the experts ourselves. The only way that you can become the expert is for someone else to make you the expert. The only way that, because we can't, rule of thumb, we can't edify, we can't build up ourselves. That's kind of icky, right? But if you're doing a three-way call, then you're going to introduce your prospect to your advisor, and you're going to introduce your advisor to your prospect. And then if you're doing the right things, if you're building your business using ITT, your advisor is going to be able to build you up. Your advisor is going to be able to tell your prospect, you know what, Susie here is freaking amazing. You guys know I love that word. Susie is incredible. And you know, she knows, she's learning this system. She's very coachable. The advisor is going to be able to say that. Now, if you inside your mind are going, I just feel bad, I don't want to keep bothering. I want you guys to think, listen to what we're telling you. The system is ITT. If you are somebody that is thinking, oh, I don't want to bother him, I don't want to bother him. How excited, if you're in action and you're moving forward, how excited would you be to enroll a little you? Like Bob, how exciting would you be if you got to enroll Bob Wagner in your business? Would you be pumped? Bob Wagner's coming into your business. Would you be like, Bob, listen, don't call me so much because I don't you're just bothering me. No, you'd be like, call me 10 times a day. Every leader that wants to grow forward, you guys would be so excited. That next leader that's coming in, when you get calls, requests for three-way calls, calls to help someone overcome objections, calls for everything, that is a blessing. We're on our hands and knees going, wait, we want the phone. We want to be a book schedule. It's not a nuisance. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. And remember, if you're not using third party, then your prospects are seeing you do the work. You're making yourself the tool. And you know what's going to happen? You're not going to grow, because every one of your prospects is going to be watching what you're doing. Remember, they're watching, they're asking themselves, can I do this? And if you're talking, you're handling it all those questions yourself, all those concerns yourself, they're going to be like, oh boy, I don't think I can do this. I'm not a salesperson like you are. I don't think I can present this like you can. But if you aren't the one that's doing it, if it's someone else who's doing the work, then your prospect's going to be like, yeah, I could do this. I can share a tool. I can get someone on a three-way call. Look how you guys are working as a team. I make sure every person that's coming in on our team has at least 3 people that they can turn to that can be their advisors. If you don't have it, if it's not an ideal situation, start working towards that. Honestly, my team, my support team, they were really busy. I was in there, like for some of them, I'm their strongest leg. So they were kind of really focused on growing the outside part of their business, right? So sometimes you have to make some cross-line partners to make sure you've got the coverage. Maybe you use each other a little bit. Ideally, you want to use the people in your support team, because those are the people that are financially going to be paid. They're vested in your success. Okay. If you guys are on the same page, if you're not resonating, you know, sometimes it's just not all a perfect world. But if you can, I mean, if I had Bob and April at my beck and call, I'd be putting them on the phone all the time. Putting them on the phone all the time. And you want, if you use third party, you're giving that prospect a chance to develop a relationship with someone who's going to be supporting them. It starts during that process. The only reason I said yes to coming over here is because I met Carrie Dickey. I met, you know, Michael Epstein as I was taking a look at this business. I knew I was joining people that I could tell they were like real people that were authentic. I'm like, these are professionals. Like, this is somebody I want to follow. And the person who shared with me directly was not someone who I necessarily wanted to work with all the time, but I still joined with him because he connected me to those people. So I knew I could trust him, that he wasn't just going to try to fill in and be that leader. He was connecting me to the leaders. So if you want to attract leaders, connect to the leaders. I hope
so
that
good,
helped.
Marci. So good.
Yeah.
So good. Who else has got? I know Marci's limited on time here. Maybe one more question?
Well, I
Who's
feel
got
like I
one?
haven't even gotten the questions. You guys bring them on. Tell me where you're stuck. I want to hear from you guys. Like, are you guys inviting all the time? What is between you and that next invite? Is there anything between you and that next invite? Where do you start to invite where you're like, this is where I don't know what to say. This is where I don't know what to do. Anybody? Who's going to be a brave soul? Put it out there.
Come on, go for it. This ain't the time to be scared. You got a master pro, soon to be 10. I'm cheering for you, Marci. You're going to speak
you.
that 10 into existence. I
Thank you.
hear it
Yes.
already coming out of your mouth. So
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited.
go ahead.
Marci, this is Kevin.
Kevin.
Thanks so much for invited Amy and I to the call, so we appreciate it.
Oh,
So one of the things that we face is sometimes you get this like lukewarm response where people really want to think about it, and you can tell their interest is marginal at best, right? And it's because it's sometimes people, I don't think they want to change. They don't know what to do, and change is difficult for them, and they feel like they're taking this big risk. But one of the things that we're trying to move, we've been at Pro9 for 2 or 3 months, and we've only been in this business since February, but we're trying to like figure out exactly how do we get from 5 to 7. Like, we're not satisfied at all being where we're at, and we're trying to make that leap because they're both pretty big leaps from 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. Or and we have people that are in our organization that are.
Oh, you stop for a second.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you said we have people in our organization that are.
We have some that are active, and then some that came out as distributors that aren't active.
Yeah.
At all.
And that is fantastic. I want everybody to know it. If you're like Kevin and you have your eye set on being a Pro 7, most people that make it to Pro 7 have personally enrolled 25 to 35 distributors. Okay. So 25 to 35. Now, out of those 25, no, there's a bug trying to bite me. I'm not going to have it. If out of those 25 to 35, 3 to 5 of them are going to be the ones that are like leaders that are like going to, I'm looking for 3 to 5 who are as committed or more committed than I am. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I want 3 to 5 there. So if someone buys a pack and they're like, I changed my mind, I'm returning this. Or if they're like, they buy the pack and then they just kind of order the product and they look more like a customer. I say, thank you, God. Thank you. Because all of them count. Every single one of them counts. So don't look, I don't want you looking, Kevin, and going like, oh, we're not satisfied. Be satisfied, be grateful for every single one of them, because however many there are, you're that much closer to getting to where you want to go. So it's all good. It's kind of like when you're filling out a bingo form. You know how when you're playing bingo, you've got, if you're playing blackout, you got to, I know they probably have some bingo players in Florida, right? You got to cross off like every one of those squares on the card. So it doesn't matter like what, you got to cross off those squares. So 25 to 35, doesn't matter what they decide to do. You just know in your mind, you're going to keep going till you find the ones that see this like you do. So I would have to look at your organization, but I would say if you don't have 3 different legs where the people are as committed or more committed than I am, like where you are, my focus would be on business partners. I'd be making a list of the people that I know that I like, that I thought, God, these are sharp people. And every day I'd be looking to add to that list. Every day I'd be spending a portion of my day looking to meet, new people and think about the qualities and the characteristics and attributes of the leadership that you want to attract. It could be certain target markets that you want to expound on in your business. It could be like anything. So I would be looking to invite those people. And when I started, it was like I was doing 3 a day. Every day I had 3 people that were going through the whole process. And then I was also booking the next, so every day I was booking so that I had my calendars lined up. You really can't control what other people want in your business, but I think the best way to get to Pro 7 is how many you're at Pro 5, that's 20,000 in volume, right? So how many 20,000s fit into 100,000? Exactly. Right now, what you've already done is you've already created one of those. You already are a Pro 5. So you already got one of those. So we're looking for 4 more. We're looking for 4 more. And when you look at a Pro 5, that's 20,000. How many Pro 3s or 5,000s go to make up one Pro 5? How many 3,000, how many 5,000s go into 20,000? 5 times what? 4. So you might just start with one of your leaders and go, you know what? You want to move forward? Let's go find 4 Pro 3s, 4 people that want to build a organization that is 5,000 endpoints. Okay. I don't know if that's helpful for you. I know that wasn't really an inviting thing, but but still you are inviting. You're inviting, you're reaching down. Now's the best time with this collagen. It's the best time to be reaching into our businesses and inviting. Even go fishing in your own business right now. It's unbelievable. People that weren't engaged, if they don't even know about this collagen, I'm reaching down and I'm like, listen, I know you because at one point they saw this opportunity. At one point, they saw that they had something that they wanted to change in their life, something they wanted to create in their life, and they were looking at LifeVantage as the platform. I'd go back now. I'd say, listen, I don't know where you are. I know you had some goals, some things that you wanted to do. You didn't really fully launch your business. I'm just wondering where you are timing wise, because LifeVantage is going to another level right now. There's amazing things happening. And I intuitively got a hit to reach out to you and just touch base and see if you have any interest in re-exploring what's going on, and possibly seeing if you want to lock arms. We could start over fresh. I'm looking to grow my business again. Want to know if you want to take a look at that. We've got like hands raised here. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Addie and Beverly's hands have been raised for a while, Marci.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Addie. Kevin, keep going.
Huh?
Go ahead, Addie.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Addie.
Okay, thank you so much, Marci, for doing this. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
One thing I'm noticing is that there are a lot of people on social media just like us. They have something really valuable that would be really good for me if I understood it, and they want to sell it to me. And so they are in that mode. And if it depends on how we met, of course, but if I might find that out because they are so busy with everything, they can't even look at something else. I'm getting a lot of that. Now, that's not the only thing I'm getting. I'm also adding people, but that's the thing, is that there's so many people in my world anyway, who are, number one, so busy with everything else, doing it just like this on Zoom, online. They used to do something else, that they can't even think of something else. And I often feel that way myself about their things. And the other thing is they really want to sell to me. And oftentimes, if they're listening to me, they're not selling to me. So they don't think they're doing it right. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know. I might be a little bit confused. So let me try to clarify. So when you say what do they want to sell you? Like their network marketing business, or not necessarily?
It often sounds like an affiliate or a network marketing type thing. Yes.
Okay.
There are others that aren't that, but there are many like that. They want to
Are
talk
these people that you want to invite to the business or the product?
oh, this might just be how they approach me, or I might have put a post up and then connected with them because they said something about the post. Or
Okay.
like that. It could be either one. I tend to move more towards the business than just the product, and use the product as a default myself personally.
Mhm. So, I mean, I think that what's important is establishing relationship with
Right.
somebody, right? So you're gonna get to know, you're gonna take that, what we call like bucket, I call it bucket one is your where you're actually like having that conversation on your wall. You're moving it to a direct message, that's bucket two, right? So you're starting to establish your relationship. And if you like them and you want to move forward, then you're going to invite them to the business. And you're going to say like, take it from there, but don't invite them on Facebook. Don't invite them in Messenger. Like my experience, this is a potentially multi-million-dollar business. Now, I don't know how big of a business you want to build, but if you want to build a significant business, I wouldn't treat this like this is a side thing. I would give it the sacredness, the sanctity, and say like, hey, I've got something. This is what I like to text. I like to text or Facebook message this. I say, hey, I've got something exciting I'd love to run by you. Would it work for me to give you, or when would it work for me to give you a quick 2-minute call today? That's what I call the invite to the invite. And so they might say, call me at 5. If they're not open, then they're not open. Maybe your invite for someone who is an influencer on social media could be like, hey, I noticed that you are very influential on social media and have a lot of people that are watching you. Do you ever keep your options open for other ways to monetize and leverage your existing network and social? Something like that. Like that could just be open the door, see if they're open to that conversation. Yeah, well, I've got something I'd love to run by you. Could I give you a quick 2-minute call?
All right, great.
Okay. I think
Beverly?
I don't know exactly where you're getting stuck, but I think you might be afraid that they're not going to be qualified.
I'm not stuck. What I'm saying is that I think all of us, I can only imagine that all of us see a lot of this because it's out there. It's not personal. It's nothing about me. I'm doing great.
Right.
But I brought this up for all of us because I see a lot of this, and I was wondering how you experience it and how you might respond to that kind of vernacular. What you told me was, I don't do this in messaging. Instead, I just get people to a conversation, which I do too.
Right.
So-
and I keep it like 2 minutes. It's just I'm going to get to know them. And then it's just, I'm going to invite, and they're either going to be open and the timing's right, or they're not. And I'm just looking for a yes or a no. That's it. If
Okay,
it's no, that's fine too.
That was great. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. And we have time for one more last one.
Beverly?
Thank you, Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Marci. My question is, how do you do your follow-up? And so I'm kind of wondering, how do you do your follow-up to reach out to people that you haven't connected to in a while, but they're still people that you've connected to? Would that be, would you do what you were just talking to Kevin about as far as the gap between the Pro 5 to Pro 7? Is that how you would do that? Because you
First of
probably
all,
already answered the question.
you want to plan your follow-up before you ever get off the phone. When you expose, like, let's say you have your third party, before you hang up that phone, you need to know what the next step. Always, even when I'm going to share a tool, I don't just give them an overview. I'm not giving them a recorded overview. I'm not inviting them to take a look at a live Zoom business opportunity without making a plan for the follow-up before I even give them the link. Always plan your follow-up in advance. So for example, if I was gonna, here, I can show you guys, can I share my screen?
You should be able to.
No, I can't.
It's not
It's
letting
okay.
us. All right.
So it's okay. But what I can say to you is like, for example, do you guys use recorded Zoom overviews? How do you share the business mostly in your team?
Live and recorded.
Live events, or like three-way calls, or they come to Zooms?
Mostly Zoom, and then we record it and
Okay.
they can use it afterwards.
Got it. Exactly. So let's say that you wanted to share a business overview. I would say, like, if I was to send you a 40-minute overview that outlines our business, that one of my very successful business partners recorded, when would you have a chance to take a look at it? And I asked them when they're going to have a chance to take a look at it. And I said, great, let's schedule just a 5-minute check-in so we can touch base afterwards, just so I can get a sense of your interest. And so at that time, I've already scheduled the follow-up. I already know when they're going to watch it. I've scheduled a follow-up before I do anything. And then when I follow up, I'm asking them what they like best. I'm just going to say, like, so you have a chance to watch it? Yeah. Tell me, what did you like best about what you heard? And then they're going to tell me. And then they're going to ask me a question, and I'm not going to answer the question. I'm going to say, here's what we need to do next. Sounds like you got some questions. Next step, next thing we want to do is schedule a time. I can introduce you to one of my partners. Let's continue to explore. And that's what you're going to do. If after that call, before you hang up the phone, if your advisor is gone, you're on that 3-way, you say, okay, if your advisor doesn't determine what the next step is going to be, you're going to always determine. And if it gets to the point where it gets out of control and you didn't do it, and you don't know, like, you've got someone out there floating around and you don't know what the next step is, you got to just call and get back into action. You got to find out their interest level. So that's when you want to call, and you can say, hey, I realized that we started the conversation, things kind of got busy. I put it on me a lot. I want to apologize. I got kind of busy with my business and so many things in my life. And I realized I'm not really sure where we stand in exploring our potential partnership together. I wanted to circle back around to you and just get a sense of your interest. And so, like, are you still interested in exploring the LifeVantage opportunity? Like, let me get a sense of it on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is like not really interested at all, and 10 is like, I'm actually ready to get started right now, and 5 is not an option. Where would you say you are right now? And if they're above a 5, that they're like a 6, a 7, something like that, then I'd be like, okay, well, let's think about what has to happen now to move you from a 6 to a 10. What would be the next step? Well, I really need to research this more. Great. Can we schedule a call with somebody who knows more about where you could turn to find that research? Always go to get them on the third party again, right? If they're like, well, I'm a 4, I'm a 3, I would say, so it sounds like maybe you're not so interested in exploring the business. And they'd say, no, not really. Okay. I'd say, well, do you see yourself wanting to explore more about the products and activating your body? No, I'm really not interested in doing that either. Okay, let me ask you a question. You know what I'm up to. I know you know a lot of people. I'm just wondering if you'd be open to sharing with me anyone that you think that you might know of that you could maybe introduce me to, that might help me expand my business. So then I'd ask for a referral as the next step. So I hope that's helpful for you guys.
Most excellent, Marci. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Marci, I could keep you here all night, okay? But you have already given an hour, and that is so generous. April, you got anything you wrote down?
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate
Marci,
it.
we are
I love
cheering
you
for you
guys.
to
I'm
be.
so grateful for you. And like, honestly, you guys, we are in such an amazing place in our business, in our life right now. Anybody that you are inviting, people have no idea that these breakthroughs exist. They have no idea this business opportunity exists. We are bringing a gift. Like, every day, like, just keep moving forward. Don't make it about you. Make it about just giving someone an opportunity to explore this. They don't know about this yet. So just tell them.
Well, for anyone who wants to see Marci live, I heard a rumor you're in Denver next month for the LVA. Is that true?
That is true. That is true,
Okay.
you guys. I'm not that great. Okay. I'm really
She
not that
is.
great. I like to have fun though. So, but you have amazing leadership on this team, and you guys just keep going. Keep going. Don't give up on yourselves. Don't give up on your families. Don't give up on your dreams. There are too many people out there that are just on their hands and knees waiting for us to reach out to them and invite them.
Thank you so much, Marci. And we will be cheering that you are the next Pro 10 in this company. We will celebrate you big time, but God bless you. We so appreciate you. And